Hello, Kathy Rose here. I want to talk to you about the astrological patterns for May 2023. There's a lot happening in May, and I want to try to condense this and make it clear, but I have to tell you, it's deep and profound. So much learning potential will be offered to us this month. It's very jazzy, but it's also really, really deep. So let us begin by looking at the Taurus mandala. This is one of the favorite ones that I created because there's a sense of fertility and stability, which is really symbolizing Taurus energy in general. Let's begin by looking at the themes for this month. The astrology patterns are going to offer us breakthroughs and insights. Be ready. That is going to come in many, many forms through messages, through clarity, through visions. It's going to come through the entire month, and I'll explain that more in a moment. Also in May, we get to meditate on the correct use of our willpower. When do we focus? When do we affirm? When do we focus our will and state what we want? And when do we release? So we're going to explore that in a moment also. And then we are offered a deep connection with stability, and we are reminded to focus, to engage in moving energy forward. I'll explain that also. First, let's talk about the biggest event that's happening early in the month, and that is the full moon eclipse in Scorpio on May 5th. It's exact at 1:34 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Now, if you look at the mandala on screen, that is the mandala for Scorpio. It feels very different from the Taurus one, right? Scorpio is a water sign. It's fixed, like Taurus is fixed, but it's flowing with emotion and passion and intensity. Scorpio wants to go deep. So this full moon in Scorpio is going to be asking us to find a mission to accomplish. And, I would ask you to meditate on that. What is it you want to accomplish right now? And where can you channel your passionate, intense energy so that it's meaningful? We also have, during this full moon eclipse, Sun conjunct Uranus. I'm going to talk about that in the next slide. So hold on for a second with that one. But in addition to that, we're going to have Venus squaring Neptune during this eclipse. That is enhanced extra sensitivity, high intuition, high spirituality, and profound creativity. So you might want to pay attention to that right around this full moon eclipse. If you feel like writing a poem or doing some artwork or doing a special meditation, that energy is going to be very strong and in the air. And in addition to that, we have Mars in Cancer squaring Jupiter. Mars in Cancer wants to nurture, wants to caretake, wants to feel connected with others, wants to mother. First and foremost, obviously, nurture and caretake yourself, and then offer it to others with this heartfelt, beautiful energy. It'll be very strong during this full moon eclipse. Okay, now going through the themes, the breakthroughs and new insights. The mandala on screen is one that I associate with the planet Uranus. It's got a lot of electricity. It's got a lot of spark to it. I did this one very early in my art career. The reason we may be offered more breakthroughs and insights is because we're going to have Sun conjunct Uranus. It starts with that eclipse, and then it becomes exact on May 9th. And this can be light bulb flashes of insight. This can be new creative ideas that pop into your head. But it's also going to reveal to you, if you have been going through a lot of change in the last few years, especially for those of you who are receiving Uranus transits, and those would be for people who have planets in Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. So if you've had upheaval or a lot of change, then the entire month of May is going to help you process, It's going to help you digest and integrate and have insights about the process of letting go and allowing something new to come in. And it's going to be particularly powerful for about the first half of May. And that is going to be reinforced and made even louder on May 7th when Venus enters Cancer. When it hits 0 Cancer, that's called the Aries point, which is 0 degree of any cardinal sign. And so even though it's a one-day contact, Venus hitting 0 Cancer lasts just one day. It's going to stay in Cancer longer than that as it travels through the sign. But that Aries point activation wants to bring something into public view. So that's going to help with breakthroughs and insights. Let me just say this. The universe is going to want to be giving you messages. It's going to want to help you gain clarity. It is your job to pay attention and see those messages or feel them or hear them, because they can come in many forms. It can come through symbols or dreams. It can come through songs. It can come through random thoughts that go through your head. Be very open, because you're going to hear the universe talking to you or receive information in some way. All right, now let's go on and explore the correct use of will. The reason I brought this up is because we have so much activation of the Taurus energy, not only and the fixed sign energy, because we have the full moon eclipse in Scorpio, Sun conjunct Uranus, Mercury finishing the retrograde mid-month in Taurus. And in a moment in the next slide, I'm going to talk about Jupiter entering Taurus. I chose at the bottom, you're going to see a painting I did a long time ago of a great horned owl. I love owls. This is my totem animal. And owls are silent when they fly. You do not hear them coming. And they're stealthy, but they're also very still and quiet during the day because they are nocturnal animals. Owls will find a place to perch and roost, and crows will come and harass the owl, but it will not move. And crows will end up going away. But the owl is a pretty amazing animal, and it flies above and it sees the big picture. How this relates to the correct use of will. With the intensity of all the fixed sign activation this month, we get to learn how to be aware of our need for control. And we get to learn how we tend to think if we feel we have control, we are safe. And it's not entirely true, but we tend to initially think that. So when you are doing affirmations, when you are declaring your intention, when you are activating the goals that you have by stating your intentions powerfully with the universe, it's so important to remember, after you activate them with your focus and your willpower, to let them go, to turn them over to the universe, so that when you are affirming, you're relaxed. You're letting energy travel through you. You're not forcing. You're not trying to make it happen. You're not being so specific that you tell the universe it needs to manifest in this way, on this date, in my timing. You let that go. You state your intention, generally specific and yet specifically general. And so willpower, when it's misused, goes into the control issues, goes into the forcing, the trying to make it happen. The higher level, like the owl flying above, would be to state it with intensity and let it go. Mercury ending the retrograde mid-month will help with that, but meditate a little bit on how you can fine-tune your intentions and your affirmations. Okay, now we go into focus and stability, which is a beautiful thing that Taurus offers. All the fixed signs offer this, but particularly Taurus. And this is emphasized so powerfully because mid-month, Jupiter enters Taurus finishes the transit through Aries, and it goes from a fire sign with great activity and movement to a fixed earth sign. It's going to be a big change in dynamic. We're going to be feeling expansion, flowing into focus and stability in our life. It's a different rhythm for sure. I'm using on screen an image of a painting that my friend Liza did of a tree, a beautiful tree, anchored deeply with a magical door going up to higher dimensions. And you would be wise to meditate on trees during Jupiter in Taurus because of the stability, because of all of that need to focus and the earthiness that is there. And that is enhanced even more during the new moon in Taurus on May 19th. Now I'm going to do a special video on that, so watch for that mid-month. But that new moon in Taurus, that's going to happen at 28 degrees Taurus. So it's a concentration of all of this focusing and stability, all of this fertility that wants to take place with Taurus. This is just beautiful, beautiful. I love Jupiter in Taurus. It is very grounded and practical. It is stable, and it also has a phenomenal endurance to achieve what it wants to achieve slowly and steadily. And you're going to be feeling this energy coming into our world. Continuing with this focusing and stability theme, I'm changing the image now, and I'm bringing in these bright, beautiful flowers, which I think are peonies in full bloom. And I'm going to focus on the fact that on May 20th, Mars enters Leo, and Mars will stay in Leo until July 11th. And now we need to focus on shining, on showing up and being present and stepping into leadership, but not being afraid to be seen. And we can kind of sense that with these beautiful flowers in full bloom. As Mars enters Leo on May 20th, it is going to do an opposition to Pluto. And Mars opposite Pluto needs managing. So step up to the plate, anchor yourself into the earth, and anchor yourself into your heart chakra, and do leadership well on that day. Empower yourself with lovingness, and then you will do Mars opposite Pluto really well. Now, we can't guarantee how other people are going to do it, but you can. You can remain in this high visibility, beautiful, blooming mode of these pink blooms, saying, it's okay for me to shine, and it's okay for me to lead. And I can do it with stability and focus, and I can do it with empowerment in my heart. Then it does not flow into the exaggeration of ego, which sometimes takes place in Leo. Okay. The day after the Mars opposite Pluto transit, we have the Sun entering Gemini on May 21st. That's going to lighten the energy a little bit, but May is a super concentrated month with all of this fixed sign activity happening. So my final thoughts. I love, love, love this image. This is a photo that my son took, or one of his friends took. Somebody who was wearing these shoes took this photo. This is in the mountains of Virginia, in the Shenandoah Valley. And they were hiking. All of these people in all these shoes went to college together, and they're all very nature oriented. And the reason I love this photo is it captures the essence, first of all, of Taurus, because you have this beautiful rock, and they wrote on the rock, I love you, which is sending love energy into the earth right now is really important. And yet we have Uranus conjunct the sun earlier in the month, which is symbolized by the diversity in the shoes, the uniqueness of all these different shoes that are here, but they're together. So what this is saying is it's okay to be unique and who you are and be highly individualized, but come together, unify, because we're all human, and love the earth, love the stability that the earth offers us. Share this while you retain your own sense of individuality. And speaking of that, my son, whose shoes are on the left side of this, is the only person who put both of his feet in. And he's a maverick. He is very much in touch with his own individuality. I thought that that's wonderful. So send love into the earth and love yourself and love everybody else. That's the theme for May. And so here we are back at the Taurus mandala. The activity is profound and deep this month. Stability, focus, learning how to use your willpower to release and surrender and turn it over to the universe when you need to, and receiving breakthroughs and insights. It's beautiful. And as always, I'm sending you much love and many blessings. And I hope you will tune in to watch the new moon in Taurus video that's going to be coming out mid-month. All right, bye for now. I'll see you at the new moon.